As filmmakers, there comes a time in which we seek out tools and equipment to make our lives easier. From gadgets and gizmos that streamline our production workflows, to devices that enhance our creative expression, the right gear can make all the difference. Today, we're diving into a compact tool designed specifically for color grading inside DaVinci Resolve. A tool in which Blackmagic Design claim gives you all the control to create cinematic images. This is the DaVinci Resolve Micro Panel. Let's start first by getting it out of the box and having a look at its design. To start, the box design is brightly coloured, with plenty of imagery and details about the unit. It also clearly addresses that this device works across an array of operating systems, including iPads. Let's open the box. Immediately, you're greeted with a few things. A Blackmagic Design welcome pamphlet, welcoming you into the realm of the Blackmagic ecosystem. A Blackmagic Design sticker for all you sticker fanatics out there. A small ad card for DaVinci Resolve. And most importantly, a quick start guide. Make sure you hold on to this, as I soon found out, this quick start guide became my saving grace to understanding the unit. Removing this portion of the box will reveal the unit itself as well as a USB-C cable. The panel sits around 43cm wide, 26cm across, and about 8cm tall. Its beautiful sleek design is around the same size as a computer keyboard, for your reference. It does bear some similarities with a keyboard thanks to its membrane keys. However, it also features an array of knobs, rotating wheels, and trackballs. These all perform a number of different functions, which I'll explain shortly. Of course, we can't use the panel unless it's connected to a device. You can do this by using a USB-C cable which is provided, or by using Bluetooth. After one quick press of the Bluetooth button on the panel, you'll then be able to find this in your Bluetooth settings on your computer. Obviously, wireless operation does drain the internal battery, so USB-C might be the recommended option. Let's go over the basic operations of the panel. The three large trackballs, as well as the rotating rings, are the most eye-catching part of the panel's design. At the hand of the user, the trackballs and rings rotate with ease. They also correspond accordingly with the lift, gamma and gain wheels inside DaVinci Resolve's color page. The left trackball controls the lift color. The middle trackball controls the gamma color. And the last trackball controls the gain color. The rotating rings that lie outside of these trackballs control the amplitude values of lift, gamma and gain respectively. Mastering the trackballs and rings might take a bit of practice, though if you make a mistake, you can easily reset the lift, gamma and gain values that you've set. Thankfully, you can reset each wheel independent of each other, so you don't have to worry about resetting the entire grade. Moving now to the top edge of the panel, there are 12 small rotating knobs in which we control with our fingertips. Just like the trackballs and rings, these small rotating clickless knobs rotate with ease, and they also have no hard stops. These knobs correspond to specific color adjustments within the color page, such as contrast, pivot, midtone detail, color boost, shadows, highlights, saturation, hue, and luminance mix. Controlling these color settings is just how you'd imagine. All you have to do is rotate the knobs either clockwise or anti-clockwise to set the value that you'd like. Using the trackballs, rings, and rotating knobs in conjunction with each other allows you to fine-tune specific color grades that you'd like for your footage. If you're like me, who's only ever used a mouse and keyboard to color grade his footage, you might find this process a bit daunting. Despite all the controls being intuitive, learning how to master this device will take practice. During my testing, I did have some trouble fine-tuning specific values of the rotating knobs, but maybe more practice will help me out with that. Lining the surface plate of the panel are 40 backlit keys, of which are labelled indicating their respective controls. All of these keys also provide the user another quick and easy way of working inside the color page of Resolve. The left group set of keys relates somewhat to the grade of a clip on a timeline, with quick buttons enabling for copying and pasting grades, undoing and redoing user adjustments, bypassing and disabling grades, as well as a user assignable button make this side of the panel a collection of perhaps high-use controls in a colorist's workflow. Also featured is an auto color key, an offset key, as well as two shift buttons, which I'll talk about in a moment. The top group contains keys that somewhat relate to the viewer inside the color page, as well as some node-related options. There are keys that allow for quick playing, wiping, and grabbing of stills, a highlight view toggle, enabling an on-screen cursor, as well as keys for adding nodes, windows, and keyframes on the clip and the corrector timeline. The right group contains a set of keys that mostly relate to the playback of the clip, with keys for frame, keyframe, and clip advancement, as well as some regular play and pause buttons. There are also keys for cycling through nodes, as well as stills. If you haven't noticed already, all of these aforementioned keys have been described on screen in more detail. And that is just the start. All of these keys actually perform an array of other functions thanks to the shift up and down keys. Pressing either the shift up or shift down key, followed by another key on the panel, will give most, if not all, keys secondary functions. Users online have also begun posting their own layout diagrams of the panel, which may help a new user get familiarised with the unit. And although the quick start guide that comes with the panel is quite handy, there is actually a more in-depth and more descriptive version of the manual online. For your reference, I've included a link to the quick start guide, full manual, as well as the user diagrams in the video description. The whole panel system is designed to be used in tandem with each other, with the user operating the panel by making use of the trackballs, rings, knobs and keys for a unique colour grading experience. As I said at the start of the video, the quick start guide proved to be a lot of help, thanks to a detailed list of the keys and all shift functions. Using the device did have a bit of a learning curve. I'm certain that after a while, the use of the panel will come naturally to the user. But while I learn, it's good to keep the guide nearby when needed. During my testing, there were times in which the use of my mouse and keyboard was still required. This panel is not designed to completely strip the need of them, but merely serve as an additional tool in your workflow. Thankfully, due to the size of the panel, it was able to rest comfortably underneath my keyboard at my desk. If I'm honest, up until the making of this video, I didn't exactly have any intentions of purchasing the panel myself. As I mentioned earlier, for years I've only ever used a mouse and keyboard when colour grading inside Resolve. And that indicates to me one thing: you do not require this panel to be a great colorist, and you're not limited in any shape or form by not making use of the panel. But that does not mean that the panel is without its benefits. The tactile nature and being able to physically orchestrate the wheels, knobs and rings enhances the overall colouring experience. You get enveloped into the colouring process, physically manoeuvring and correcting the footage. Additionally, the panel was designed with iPads in mind as well. It even features a slot for an iPad. Given that iPads don't feature any tactile buttons, this may be a good option for those users. The overall size of the panel is also a major plus. While most of my intensive video work is done at home on my desktop, for my job and being on the go, I'm required to make multimedia content on my work-provided laptop. The compact nature of the design allows it to be transportable with ease, so when I'm swapping between my desktop and my laptop when I'm on the go, the panel is not a hindrance at all. Additionally, speaking about laptop use, compared to using a trackpad to make colour adjustments, especially using the colour wheels, the trackballs and rings made this a lot easier for me. As far as I'm aware, the panel itself can only be used inside DaVinci Resolve, and more specifically, the colour page. As I mentioned previously, the panel does not limit your ability to colour grade using a mouse and keyboard. The panel somewhat positions itself to being a device for users who want to elevate the colour grading game by giving them more control. With enough practice though, it could surely make colour grading much quicker for the user. So, what's the verdict? Ultimately, I don't feel like this device will be adopted by all Resolve users, and that's completely fine. It is a tool that extends and expands upon the ability of what is already capable, and for the most part, it does this well. If you feel like this panel might come in handy for your workflow, it might be worth looking into. At least now, you'll have a few different options for your colour grading process. Using the panel will not immediately make you a great colorist. That will take time and practice. If you're looking for a different option, don't forget you can also use keyboard shortcuts inside DaVinci Resolve. Here, you can assign any key on your keyboard to a certain function, and that could also work outside the color page. At the end of the day, the best workflow is the one that works best for you. And by watching this video, I hope it's been informative enough for you to make up your mind if this panel is right for you.